When I was 9 years old, my dad died, and it completely changed the trajectory of my life. For years, I watched my dad struggle with cancer, and he eventually got so sick he was confined to his bed, and he died a few months before my 10th birthday. And seeing what my dad went through, it completely changed my psychology from a very young age, because I realized that health is the foundation of so many things that we love. When we lose our health, we lose our ability to make memories, to enjoy time with our family, to work, provide, to pursue our hobbies and passions. I saw my dad lose all of that. And so what I committed from a very young age is I wanted to get strong. I wanted to build myself up, and I wanted to learn what I could do around nutrition, sleep, and exercise to make it sure that I didn't get cancer, and so that I can kind of grow into the man that I wanted to be from that early experience. And I got super into bodybuilding. Bodybuilding was something that captured my heart. I would see some of the muscle magazines, see what those guys looked like, and I was just like, wow, I wanted to grow and develop. So in my teens and well into my 20s, I competed as a competitive bodybuilder for many years. And these are some photos of my early competitions. They're really fun to look back on because I could see my development over the years. And I actually ended up competing at a high level and even winning a national championship in Las Vegas. But what's really funny for me now from my perspective, having gone through all this health education and helped so many people with their health, is I did not get health at the time. So I want to shoot this video to share 5 things I wish I knew when I was a competitive bodybuilder, when I was a personal trainer, and really into the early stages of fitness. The first thing that I didn't even understand even remotely when I was really focused on macronutrients, how much protein, carbs, and fats, what was my training split, I didn't understand that this body is completely connected to all these cycles in nature, and that sunlight and darkness is the key to driving good health. And I've talked about this many times on the channel recently, but I want to drive this point home. The interface between the sun and the light that comes off the sun and your eyes and consequently your brain controls this cascade of hormones that makes you feel good, that regulates your hormones, that regulates your appetite, that helps you burn fat and feel energized. We need to be in the cycles of the sun and the dark. And so what I do practically speaking, what does this mean? Well, today, and what I didn't do back then, is when I get up in the morning, I'm trying to get sun exposure within an hour of waking up on my skin and in my eyes. It means that I grab my dog Luna and we walk outside. I'm glancing around the sun. I'm getting sun on my body. Most of the times I walk around shirtless because I want to get as much sun as possible. But either way, driving home the importance of the sun is something what I've told myself years ago. Because if you're looking at driving all these good health effects downstream, work at the highest level. Work at the upstream level, which means getting light in the morning. And it turns out when you get light in the morning and your eyes sense that, it actually creates serotonin, which makes you feel better. And later at night, that serotonin is converted to melatonin when the sun goes down. And melatonin drives this whole anti-inflammatory, repairing aspect in the body, in the brain. So really cool, right? Prioritize sunlight. That's the first lesson I didn't understand when I was focused on weighing my chicken breasts and how much I could squat. The second thing I didn't understand is that we need to balance anabolism and catabolism. So anabolism is the building up. It's what we want to do when we're training, right? We want to build up muscles and strain the tissues and then refuel and repair so we can grow. And certainly as a bodybuilder, it was all about being anabolic. Well, it turns out, just like these cycles of nature that have a yin and a yang, anabolism needs to be balanced out by catabolism. Catabolism is the breaking down of tissues, and our bodies need to have these two things in balance. If we're constantly driving anabolism without allowing the body to break down old denatured tissues, stuff that needs to be cleared out from the body, we get growth, and that can result in things like cancers. It can be like the buildup of plaque in arteries. And practically speaking, what I really learned now today is the power of using strategic intermittent fasting to get the body into a catabolic state periodically, where the body can really break things down and clear things out. This means today that a couple times every year, I'm doing at least a 3-day water fast. Ideally, my goal is to do it every quarter because I believe it's so profound to give the body a period of time where you're not eating food. It activates new stem cells. It clears out all the cellular debris that gets built up. Now, today, I am really trying to get more catabolism into my life in intermittent fasting forms to balance the anabolism that I get from eating food and training. And now that I understand this, I understand that to have a long, healthy body, these two forces need to be in balance. So fasting is a very good thing. Eating dinner earlier so you have a longer fasting window every day is a very good thing. It increases this helpful catabolism as things are breaking down. We need to be able to clean out the cellular junk as well as build things up. And when we're constantly eating, when we're driving protein and carbohydrates, when insulin is being stimulated, we're in an anabolic environment, but we need to balance that out. The third thing I didn't understand back when I was bodybuilding and really into this is how important nutrition is when it's focused on gut health. I used to be really concerned about how many carbohydrates, proteins, and fats I was intaking, particularly in preparing for competitions. I'd have everything weighed out. I know exactly what I was intaking, but I didn't understand the grander scheme that every bit of food that we eat, it interfaces with this dynamic digestive tract we have. And foods have different effects on us individually. There are some foods that are inflammatory for you that might not be inflammatory for me. And if I would have gone back in there and really been able to teach myself this stuff, I would have had a nutrition plan that was so much more focused on gut health. I would have eaten more fruit. I would have had more of the healthy fiber in some of those good fruits. I certainly would have been doing other things to help my gut health, like eating some probiotic containing foods. I would have been using more juices and different kind of juicing. I would have maybe some apple cider vinegar, some sauerkraut in my diet. And I would have paid attention to all the different kinds of foods I was eating that were inflaming me, causing a buildup of mucus, and not making my poops feel good. I was eating a whole bunch of stuff that looked good on paper, but wasn't good for my physiology because it wasn't good for my gut health. And what I want for everyone listening to this is for you to figure out the foods that are great for you and to get more gut healthy stuff into your diet. Get some more of these anti-inflammatory herbs like ginger and curcumin. Start to eat foods that are not processed and all this stuff and get your digestive tract healthy. It's gonna serve you because remember, as we say a lot in times of health, we have two brains. We have this brain up here in the head cavity. We also have this brain in the digestive tract that has millions of neurons and produces all these neurotransmitters. We keep this digestive tract system healthy. It interfaces through the vagus nerve with the brain and we thrive. So that's the third thing, gut-centric health and understanding how different foods we eat, particularly inflammatory foods, can lead to leaky gut and make the immune system kind of spin off into haywire. You don't want that. The fourth thing I would have told myself, and I wish I would have believed was so important, is to prioritize walking. Particularly when I was prepping for competitions, I wish I was walking a ton more. If you're looking at losing fat and you're already training well and you're doing good nutrition, increase your low intensity activity. Walk as much as you can. Honestly, in prepping for competitions, I wish I would have been walking like 2 hours a day. The more low intensity activity you can do, it lightly burns fat. It has beneficial effects on your blood sugar control. It's so good and healing to be outside, breathing fresh air and just decompressing. It's like where a lot of us feel most connected. I would have walked like crazy. I would have walked way more. Now, granted, I did live in Philadelphia at the time when I was attending UPenn, and it was not always nice weather outside, so I wasn't like walking around in the cold winter sleet and slush, but if I could, I would have walked a lot more. And I believe walking is truly some of the best medicine and probably the best activity for longevity. And I probably would have done a walk in the morning and in the evening after dinner. I do that now, I would have done that then. The fifth thing and the final thing that I would have done if I could go back in time and talk to my younger bodybuilding self was to prioritize spinal decompression. So this body is amazing, but just look at the geometry of the body. We kind of look like a star, right? We have two arms, we have two legs, and this central axis. This central axis is your nervous system, which has the brain, and then the brain goes into the brainstem and goes throughout this entire spine. And all these spinal segments that are stacked up like Legos have little nerves that go out, innervate your muscles so you can move, innervate your key organs so they have their functions. And what happens is as we age, the spine gets compressed. It gets compressed from sitting, it gets compressed because as we age, the discs themselves get more dehydrated. And when those spine discs compress, it compresses the nerves. And when the nerves don't innervate and fire and get into the right kind of tissues in the right way, you have a decrease in health. Your nervous system's ability to communicate and have input to all the key organs and muscles of your body is primary and foundational to health. So what I would do now is I would start to use an inversion board like I have in my office and decompress my spine. I would spend a couple minutes upside down, certainly in the morning, maybe in the evening. The benefit is amazing. Not only if you suffer from any kind of back pain, the inversion table can be beneficial because it takes some pressure off those discs, opens it up, increases blood flow, but I think it's just gonna give overall better functioning. When the nerves work better and they innervate your body better by spinal decompression, you're gonna be in great shape. So an inversion table is great. I have a pull-up bar in my office that I don't even really do pull-ups on. I'm more like training the gym for pull-ups, but I do hang on that thing because I'm getting spinal decompression from the shoulder joint. Recommend you do more of that. And I also would have done more self-myofascial release. So foam rolling, working on tight and tender tissues. I feel like today, 10 years later, I'm almost like paying for my sins of not doing nearly as much of that stuff early on. I would have addressed some restrictions I had in my left shoulder instead of just like working around them and burying them because I had to pay a big price later on of unwinding some of this stuff. And if you can teach your family, your kids, and you can start getting on this stuff earlier, get into the habit of stretching, of doing more foam rolling, of decompressing your spine, you're gonna be so healthy in the long run. Because let's look at people and their quality of life when they're 80. What's one of the main determinants? How mobile are you? How good do your joints work? Can you squat? Can you press? Can you row? Can you move overhead? If you can do all these things, your life's gonna be great. But if you allow this stuff to kind of degenerate, these tissues to degenerate, your spine to degenerate, and you don't make this a top priority of your approach to health and training, then you're gonna be in for some problems later on in life. And that's gonna be lack of ability, dis-ease, and then it affects your mental quality as a result of having a weaker physical body. So these are 5 things in recap that I wish I would have known when I was an early bodybuilder. I would have focused on the sunlight, balance anabolism and catabolism by doing some strategic fasting. 3, gut-centric nutrition. 4, prioritize walking. And number 5, decompress your spine. Do some of that stuff every single day. It's gonna serve you for years to come. Because if you don't address this stuff and it doesn't seem like a short-term issue right now, you're gonna be creating a debt that you must pay later. And we know the debts need to be paid, and oftentimes that means with your health in your life, right? So these are some tips. I hope you found this video valuable. If there's something that you discovered in your own journey, maybe you believe something was very true and then your perspective shift as you got more wise, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below on obviously health topics, but anything otherwise. And if you found this valuable, let me know and share. And let me know some other topics you'd like to hear about in the future. I'm so grateful you're here. So give us a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to our Fit Father Project and Fit Mother Project YouTube channels. I'm grateful you're here, my friend. I'll see you around our channels, and I'll talk to you very soon. Hey there, it's Dr. A. Thanks so much for checking out today's video. I hope you found it valuable. Here at the Fit Mother Project, my team and I are on a mission to help busy moms, particularly ladies in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, lose weight, tone up, build muscle, and get healthy for themselves and their families. So I'm super grateful you're here. I want to invite you to subscribe to our Fit Mother Project YouTube channel. You'll get instant access to the hundreds of different videos we have on nutrition, exercise, mindset, supplementation, all the important stuff you want to know about. Also, if you scroll below in the description of any of our videos, you can click some links and get our free meal plan and free workout that we designed for fit moms. We'll send it straight to your email, and we'll show you some of our simple strategies and workouts to help you lose weight, boost your metabolism, and just look and feel younger. And of course, you can also visit us at fitmotherproject.com, where you can get in contact with me and my team, tell us about what's going on with you and your health. We're really happy to help you. Thanks for being here, my friend. Subscribe. I'll see you around the channel, and I'll talk to you very soon.